What's up, deal makers? This is Dispo Paul. You're listening to a Dispo Dragons deep dive. Instead of me ranting for an hour, I fed my own research, market data, and private case studies into our internal AI analysis engine. What you're about to hear is a simulated debate between two AI hosts breaking down my specific strategies on this topic. I do this so that you can digest the raw data faster without any of the fluff. So put your phone down, listen closely to the tactics, and let's get straight to the cash. Here is the breakdown.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're pulling back the curtain on how the top 1% are doing it, how they're using specialization and some serious tech to solve these bottlenecks. We're going to show you exactly where the money is actually being lost. And trust me, the biggest holes are the ones you're refusing to look at. So we've got to start with the people who think they've got it all figured out. The investors, the guys with the capital.
The fix and flippers, the buy and hold crews. Yeah.
And think about what happens. They spend thousands on marketing. They spend weeks, maybe months, building rapport with a seller who's in a tough spot. They get the price right. They get the contract signed. They do the hardest part.
The absolute hardest part, finding the deal.
And then they look at the paper and go, oh, well, it's a good deal, but it's outside my little box.
It's the investor blind spot. They literally found the money. They have a contract for it, but because it doesn't fit their perfect little system, they refuse to cash the check.
They walk away. And it becomes what we call the trash-led problem. These aren't bad deals. They're just bad deals for that guy at that moment. And they treat them like garbage. They throw them out.
Let's make it real. Give me an example.
Okay, so your crew, your best guys, they're based in, say, Tampa. You lock up a killer deal 2 hours away in Ocala. That's 100 miles every day. Your crew says no way, or your costs just explode with travel time. So instead of making money on that Ocala deal, you call the seller and say, sorry, can't close, and you've been the lead.
Or another one, you only do single-family homes. That's your thing. But your marketing pulls in a perfect fourplex. Great numbers, but it's commercial zoning, different financing, different insurance, and you just go, nope. Not my asset class, and you toss it. It's money you literally earned that you are throwing in the garbage.
And the other big one is just liquidity and scale. Maybe you're swimming in cash, but the deal you found is a tiny $80,000 condo. Your crew's minimum day rate just eats up the whole profit, so you trash it. Or the opposite. You're tight on cash this month, and a 20-unit apartment building falls in your lap. Or $100K up front. You can't swing it, so abandon the contract.
You did the work. You spent the time, you spent the money to find that equity, to just walk away because your internal plumbing is a little stiff at the moment. That's insane. It's the definition of burning cash.
And the pivot is so simple. It's so simple. But for these guys, it's like revolutionary. You have to stop thinking like a limited buyer and start thinking like a scalable moneymaker. You wholesale that thing.
If it doesn't fit in your flip portfolio, I guarantee you it fits perfectly in someone else's buy box.
And that's where the specialized disposition teams come in. The Dispo Dragons of the world. You don't have to build a whole second business yourself. You don't need the buyer's list, the marketing, the systems. You just hand off the contract you already signed.
They exist just for this. To monetize those trash leads. They have the standards, they have the speed, they have the buyers. They sell it fast.
Your role completely changes. You find the deal. You lock it up, you submit it, they sell it.
And you collect a check, an assignment fee. For what? For answering the phone and signing a 2-page piece of paper, you're getting paid for solving the sourcing problem, which is the hardest damn part of this business.
And let's be clear on something, because the sources bring this up. The legal distinction between an assignment and a double close. A lot of these investors, they're scared of wholesaling because they think they have to do a double close, which means they got to fund the deal for a minute.
Yeah, they need transactional funding. Closing costs go up. It's a headache.
But that fear it's just not relevant for 90% of these. You're just assigning your interest in the contract. That's it. The assignment fee is the spread. It's clean, it's fast, and it keeps your own capital completely liquid.
And the specialized partner, they handle that whole process. They're the operational backbone. So you're limited by a box, the geography, the asset type, your cash position, it all becomes totally irrelevant. You have to stop letting your identity as a buyer get in the way of making easy money. The real money is in the specialization, not the sawdust.
Okay, so if the investor is burning money because they're too rigid, the sole wholesaler is burning money because they're just stuck in mud. They're so slow.
Yeah, let's talk about the speed, the velocity gap. This is what's killing wholesaler profits.
The sources are pretty brutal on this. They basically say the jack of all trades is dead.
He's dead and buried. In a market that moves at the speed of an API call, most wholesalers are just mediocre, and it's because they're trying to do everything. We call it the chaos model.
Juggling 5 flaming chainsaws. That's what it looks like. They're the marketing department, the cold caller, the dispo manager, the admin, the tech guy, the repair estimator. It's a recipe for burnout and failure. And this chaos, it creates what we've mapped out as the solo wholesaler friction map. The data is clear. These guys are wasting 80% of their day. 80. On low-value tasks that make $0. They're doing minimum wage work trying to chase a $15,000 check.
Let's break that down. The specific time sinks. Number 1, manual comping.
Ugh, the comping, it's fundamental. You have to do it. But the analog guy, he's spending 45 minutes on every single property, jumping between Zillow, Redfin, the county site, maybe an old MLS login if he's lucky, trying to piece together an ARV. 45 minutes of your most valuable time doing work a computer should do in like a second.
No, multiply that. You got to process, 10 leads to find one good one? So you spend 45 minutes times 10. That's 7.5 hours gone before you even pick up the phone to negotiate a deal. It's madness.
Then time sink number 2, unqualified buyers. You finally get a deal, you post it somewhere, and your phone starts ringing. You spend the whole day fielding, on average, 15 calls from people who are not going to buy it. No proof of funds, no real intent, just tire kickers wanting the address to waste your time, kills your focus.
And the most dangerous one, the one that blows everything up, bad repair estimates.
This is the killer, because you're rushing, you don't have the software or the local contractor network. You just guess. Looks like a $25K rehab. That sloppiness leads to a catastrophic 30% contract cancellation rate. 30%.
Why? Because your numbers were garbage. The end buyer, the professional, he does his due diligence, he walks the property, and he finds out your 25 grand rehab is actually 55 grand, and boom, the deal explodes. You wasted weeks, you burned your reputation, and you ticked off the seller.
The sources call this the velocity gap. And it's not small. The analog operator, the guy doing it all by hand, is losing 40% of his potential assignment fees. 40%, just because he's slow.
That is just money vaporizing into thin air.
Which brings us to the core truth for every wholesaler listening. Your true superpower, the one thing you can't outsource, is getting deals and negotiating them. That is your highest value activity. It requires your human skill, your hustle. You have to double down on that. Everything else is a distraction.
The time you spend posting on 20 different Facebook groups or managing a messy spreadsheet of buyers you haven't even vetted, that's $15 an hour work, and it's eating up your $500 an hour time. It's draining you.
So the only way to scale is radical specialization. You have to. You're an acquisition sniper. Great. Be that. Outsource the entire disposition mess. That's how you move faster than the market and focus 100% of your energy on making money.
You hand off the chaos, you stop juggling the chainsaws, and you become the focused rainmaker. You operate where you're actually worth the most.
Okay, so we've hammered on speed and specialization, but I can hear the solo guy out there thinking, I get it, but I'm not a tech mogul. I don't have 50 grand lying around to build some high-speed machine. And that's a totally fair point. The tech is no longer optional, but building it yourself. The barrier to entry is huge. A custom AI valuation engine, a true Gemini-powered system. You're looking at $50,000 up front, minimum. And that's before you pay for the APIs, the hosting, the maintenance.
It's prohibitive for a small team or a solo operator.
So here's the cheat code. This is what the sources are calling the partner access model. It's what teams like Dispo Dragons have pioneered. It's the answer for the little guy who needs big boy speed.
How does it work?
The entry point is designed to have zero friction. You have a deal under contract, it's locked up, you go to their site, dispodragons.com/notudis. Submit a deal, you fill out the form, that's it, that's the whole workflow. You're not buying software, you're just submitting the deal you already have.
And that gives you what you call the tech rent advantage.
Exactly. For that one deal, you were effectively renting a multi-million-dollar tech stack for free. You get instant world-class analysis and marketing without spending a dime on your own infrastructure.
Yeah, it's like taking your deal and plugging it straight into a high-speed bullet train. The manual delay just disappears.
Yeah, and let's get into the mechanics here, because this is the deep dive part. What is this engine actually doing in the seconds after you hit submit? It's not just AI.
Right. What's under the hood?
Okay, so first you have the plumbing. They use workflow automation tools, something like Make.com, as the central nervous system. This plumbing connects your form submission to a whole bunch of different APIs, one after the other, super fast.
So step one is just grabbing all the data.
Step 1, data aggregation. The system pings multiple APIs at once: MLS history, county tax records, recent sales, zoning data, stuff that would take a human hours to find.
And then it feeds that into the valuation engine.
Step 2, the valuation engine. All that data gets pushed into a large language model like Google's Gemini API. And this isn't like a human looking at 3 comps. The AI runs a multi-factor model. It looks at comps, but also local repair costs, appreciation trends, school ratings, flood zones, all the little details that affect what a buyer will actually pay.
And that's what replaces the 45 minutes of manual work. It just spits out a report.
In seconds, a deep dive ARV report gives you immediate, defensible data to know if your contract price is solid. But the tech also solves another huge problem we talked about: the crappy inputs, the blurry photos.
Oh, the vertical screenshots of a toilet, my favorite.
Right. So the Dragon engine is designed to fix that front-end sloppiness to keep the back-end moving fast. They use specialized image processing AI, a mix of tools like Nano and Gemini's vision tech, just for fixing photos.
So it takes my terrible blurry photo and
Beautifully.
cleans it up.
It instantly resizes it, optimizes it, and upscales it to high definition. Because a professional fix and flipper who's about to spend $500,000 isn't going to trust a deal that's marketed with 3 blurry pictures of a bathroom floor. It's about building instant trust.
So let's be clear, this isn't about hiding the problem, right? It's not photoshopping out a hole in the wall.
No, absolutely not. The AI is specifically trained to preserve the defects. If there's hoarding, if there's a leak in the ceiling, the AI just makes sure the buyer can see that disaster clearly in high definition. It's about transparency.
Yeah.
But professional presentation gets you a faster decision.
So the benefit for the solo guy is obvious. 0 tech cost, enterprise-level speed and accuracy. You plug your deal into their system and it does all the grunt work for you. Okay, but we got to hit the pause button. We have to deal with the big objection, the skeptic argument, all the speed, all the AI in the world. It can't sell an overpriced turkey.
And the skeptic is right. 100%. That is the brutal, necessary truth of this business. If you, the wholesaler, lock up a contract at 95% of the ARV and it needs a full gut rehab, that deal is dead on arrival. Speed doesn't multiply 0. Your primary job is still to negotiate a good contract.
So let's talk economics. How is the deal structured so that everybody's on the same page? The JV partner and the Dispo team have to be aligned.
And this is why the add-on-top model is what the best are using. A specialized firm like Dispo Dragons, they rarely want a 50-50 split of your fee. That just creates friction. Instead, they add their fee, usually a flat rate, say $2,500 to $5,000, on top of what you need to make.
Run the numbers for me.
Okay. You contract a house for $150. You needed a $10,000 assignment fee, so you need to get $160 net to you. Dispo Dragons will market that property at, say, $165. They add their $5,000 fee on top. If it sells, you get your full $10,000, they get their $5,000.
So their incentive is to push for the highest price possible, not to chip away at my profit.
Perfectly aligned. Their job is to justify that extra $5,000 by providing the speed and the vetted buyer list.
But I got to push back here. What about the deals with razor-thin margins? Let's say the wholesaler wasn't a great negotiator. He only got a $7,000 spread. The Dispo team adds $3,000. Now the total fee is $10,000. Couldn't that extra $3,000 be the very thing that kills the deal for the end buyer?
That's a sharp challenge. It's a great question. And that's why the Dispo company has to be elite. The answer isn't just in the speed. It's in the data loop that this specialization creates. You don't have to guess why a deal isn't selling. The market tells you, loudly, by being silent.
So when the deal gets blasted out to their buyer list,
The system is tracking everything. Clicks on the link, email open rates, how many people viewed the photos, and most importantly, offers, or the lack of offers. Things a solo guy just can't see.
and if there's just silence, crickets.
That data goes right back to the wholesaler in a report. It's not a feeling, it's objective data. It's the market's verdict. It says, the market has spoken. At this price, this property is an overpriced turkey.
And that data becomes your leverage.
That's your ammo. You can go back to the seller and not look like a jerk trying to retrade the deal. You could say, Ms. Johnson, look, we put your property in front of thousands of vetted cash buyers. Here's the data. At 205, we got nothing. To make this happen, we need to be at 202. We can close this week at that number.
So it saves a contract that would have otherwise just died.
It saves the contract.
Yeah.
And it gives you a second line of defense. If the data proves the cash price is a no-go, maybe the deal can pivot.
Pivot to what?
Creative finance. If the numbers don't work for a flip, maybe the rental numbers are great, maybe the seller has low debt and is super motivated, you immediately pivot that dead cash deal into a sub-2 or a seller finance deal.
A subject to deal, where the new buyer just takes over the seller's old mortgage payment.
Exactly. And that opens it up to a whole new pool of buyers, long-term investors who can pay a little more because they're getting a great interest rate from the seller's old loan.
So you're multiplying the exit strategies. You're not just a one-trick pony.
You save the entire lead from the fresh can. The data loop is your ultimate weapon against the market saying no. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the solo guy, the person who needs to rent the tech. Let's shift gears. Let's talk to the big teams, the big boy operations, the guys processing 50, 100, 200 leads a month.
Yeah, for those firms, the math is totally different. Renting the tech on a per-deal JV basis, that's not efficient at that scale. At that level, you need to own the machine. It has to be internal.
That's the bespoke enterprise model. This is where a firm like Dispo Dragons isn't your JV partner anymore. They're your automation consultant. They come in and build that custom high-speed system inside your company.
And the goal there is just ruthless efficiency. You can't have your highest paid people, your acquisitions managers, spending 45 minutes comping a deal.
It's a massive compounding waste of time and talent. So the build is about creating a private, internal valuation engine. A lead comes into your CRM and boom, the system automatically pings the Gemini APIs and does the work. The human AM doesn't even have to touch it.
So what's the result? What does their day look like?
The result is your acquisitions guys get detailed deep dive ARV reports while they sleep. They get an email at 7 a.m. with verified reports for every appointment they have that day.
So they walk in, they have their call list, and they already have a smart, defensible offer range for every single person they're about to talk to.
Zero internal friction. Maximum confidence. They can focus 100% of their energy on negotiating because they trust the data they were handed.
I gotta inject some friction, though. If the report is fully automated, aren't you taking out the human element, the intuition? Isn't it just encouraging people to make automated lowball offers and burn relationships?
That's a good question. It highlights the difference between a cheap online calculator and a true bespoke system. The system gives them a starting point, a defensible range. The AI doesn't negotiate with a seller who's going through a tough time. The human does.
It's a tool to augment them, not replace them.
Exactly. The value is that your AM can spend all their time on rapport and tactics, not digging through tax records.
So this is the verdict for the market going forward. Staying analog is it's not an option for a big firm.
It's not viable. You can't afford the friction of having your rainmakers do admin work. You have to pick a lane. Either you submit your deal to a partner and rent their speed,
or you hire that partner to build the tech internally so you own the velocity. Doing nothing just leads to what you called comp fatigue, high employee turnover, and just lost money.
All right, let's get down to the street smart reality of all this. We can talk about AI and APIs all day long, but none of it, and I mean none of it, matters if the operator is lazy or just disorganized.
That is the absolute truth. Tech can't fix garbage inputs. It just processes the garbage faster. Basic operational discipline, that street-level execution.
Yeah.
It's the foundation for everything. You have to get aggressive about the basics.
And we're not even calling it lazy anymore. Let's call it unnecessarily chaotic. It's not a character flaw. It's a failure to have and enforce a simple system. You're creating your own friction.
Okay, let's hit failure point number 1, access. The lockbox rule. This is the dumbest, most basic failure that kills deals constantly. It wastes days and it shatters buyer confidence right out of the gate.
Your buyers are professionals. They need to get in, see the project, get bids from their guys, and move. Now, if we can't get a buyer in the door within 24 hours, the deal is basically dead. They've already moved on to the next one. It's easy to see.
And the fix is so cheap, it's offensive. A standard contractor lockbox is what? $15 on Amazon? Maybe $40 for a good one? A $15 investment to protect a $15,000 fee?
It has to be part of the system. The moment you get the contract, your admin ships that lockbox 2-day mail directly to the seller. You tell them, put this on the gas meter, put a spare key inside, set the code to 1234, done. Friction eliminated.
If your team is too disorganized to execute the delivery of a $15 lockbox, you're too amateur to collect a 5-figure check. Period. Stop making it hard for people to give you money.
Failure point number 2, photos. The screenshot rant. This just screams that you don't respect the asset you're trying to sell.
Oh, the blurry thumbnails. The vertical pictures of a dark closet. Taking a screenshot of a photo you already took on your phone. My favorite is 3 close-up pictures of a dirty toilet and nothing else. You're selling a $500,000 asset. and that's the best you can do.
And when a Dispo team gets that kind of garbage, it just slows the whole machine down. The buyer immediately thinks you're hiding something. It creates distrust.
And it costs real time and money on the back end?
It does. Our guys spend 15 to 20 minutes per deal just using AI to fix, rotate, and upscale those crappy photos. That's real labor costs that the wholesaler's sloppiness creates.
And again, to be clear, the AI isn't hiding the mess.
Never. If the house is a train wreck hoarding, holes in the wall, whatever, we want the buyer to see that train wreck in a crystal clear, high definition so they can make an informed offer right away. Vague photos get you lowball offers. Clear photos get you fast decisions.
Okay, failure point number 3, the sales description. This is about actually knowing what you're selling. Accuracy matters. Stop just trusting Zillow or the county records like it's the gospel.
Because automating faulty data is a catastrophe. We had a deal. A partner brings it in, calls it a duplex. Zillow said it was a 4-bed, 3-bath. The partner rate 5-bed, 2-bath. But the detail they missed, the human detail, was that the owner was in the middle of converting it into a single-family home. The property was an active construction zone.
That's a massive difference. If you blast that out as a turnkey duplex, you look like an idiot.
You look incompetent. You waste the time of qualified buyers looking for cash flow. And you destroy the Dispo team's reputation. The human element is still critical. You have to walk the property. You have to verify the details. Tell the real story. That basic hygiene is the foundation that all the high-speed tech is built on.
All right, let's wrap this deep dive up. We've been gritty. We've been honest. The core takeaway here is pretty simple. The only real competitive edge you have left is the speed, the analysis, and the data that comes from specialization.
And that specialized structure, that high-speed engine, it saves deals. It saves deals that the front-end guys botch, either by letting you renegotiate with real data or by letting you pivot to creative finance when the cash buyers say no.
The choice you have to make right now is clear. There are only 2 paths forward if you want to move at the speed the market demands. You have to stop playing small. Stop letting good leads die just because they don't fit your perfect little box.
Path 1. You're a solo operator, a small team. You submit your inventory to a tech-enabled partner. You rent their engine, like Dispo Dragons.
Path 2. You're a high-volume player. You hire that partner to build the tech inside your own company. You own the velocity engine, and you kill your internal friction.
So if you have a deal locked up on your desk right now, stop making excuses. Stop trying to comp it by hand. Stop wondering what Facebook group to post it in.
Just go to the site now. Do the one thing that gets it monetized. Submit it. dispodragons.com/submit a deal.
The technology dictates the speed of the game. There's no escaping that. But the disciplined operator, that's you, dictates the quality of the play.
Hey, it's Paul again. I'm back. That was the simulation. If you want to actually execute what you just heard, whether it's automating your leads or underwriting your deals without lifting a finger, we have the blueprint ready for you. Check the show notes for the link to our free Dispo Dragons community. Join today. Stop guessing and start scaling. I'll see you in the next one.
Dive.